She will be again, right? Not only that, but we're working on a campaign. So I would like to welcome Jennifer Cox. Jennifer?
Hi there. My name is Jennifer Cox, and after a long road up from Tucson, it is good to be in a room full of union members. First of all, I have to thank Buzz, Rebecca, Cindy, and of course Laura Hogan up from Tucson as well today. And I have to thank all of you here for inviting me to be with you on behalf of Congresswoman Giffords this evening for the 53rd Biennial Convention of the Arizona AFL-CIO. As I'm sure all of you know, my boss, Congresswoman Giffords, would have loved to be here with you for this important event today. However, the Congresswoman is in Houston, working hard on what is now her full-time job, her rehabilitation. Every time that one of us from Congresswoman Giffords' office is the honor to represent her at an event like this, people continually come up to us and ask us about how the Congresswoman is doing. The concern, the compassion in this community and in this state is incredible. And I have one important thing to tell you today about how the Congresswoman is doing. She's doing very well. As I said, she's working incredibly hard on her rehabilitation, and that's clear every time we see her. You know, we met with her several times this year, and each time there is an intense difference in her ability. She's continuing to get better every day, every week, every month. As all of you know, she suffered an incredibly serious injury, and it's a miracle she's even alive. So it is understandable that it will take her some time to recover to the point where she feels she's able to return to work. No one knows when that will happen. That's a decision that only she can make. We're just 1 week away from marking the 9-month anniversary of that terrible day in Tucson last January. I know that your thoughts are with her, and I will be sure to tell her about the very warm welcome that you all gave me this evening. Now, I know that if Congresswoman Giffords were here tonight, she would remind you that she's always been a strong and unwavering supporter of Arizona's working families. On a national level, Congresswoman Giffords has a 96% voting record from the AFL-CIO. Let me give you some examples. First, she was an original co-sponsor and voted for the Employee Free Choice Act. Second, she was an original co-sponsor and voted for increasing the minimum wage. Third, she was an original co-sponsor and voted for the Lilly Ledbetter Pay Equity Bill, a bill that was signed into law by President Obama. Fourth, she was a co-sponsor of the Public Safety Employer-Employee Cooperation Act, which would allow firefighters and police to bargain collectively. But there are other issues that are crucial to the working men and women of Arizona, issues that Congresswoman Giffords has also supported. Let me talk briefly about 3 of those issues. First of all, women continue to earn less than men. Congresswoman Giffords is a strong supporter of the Paycheck Fairness Act, which would require that employers show that wage gaps between men and women doing the same work are caused by factors other than the gender of their employees. That's only fair. Second, home foreclosures continue to be a major threat facing Arizona's families. Arizona has one of the nation's highest foreclosure rates, and the Congresswoman has been working to help responsible homeowners stay in their homes. In May 2010, Congresswoman Giffords voted to support legislation that would help stabilize the housing market in Arizona and other states by providing tools and incentives for lenders and homeowners to modify their loans. And less than 1 year ago, she called for an immediate national moratorium on foreclosures. She did this so lenders and loan servicers could address rampant problems in their own industry that have led to homeowners being wrongly removed from their homes. Just this month, members of the Congresswoman's staff led a multi-state effort to find the best ways of helping Americans who are threatened with losing their homes to foreclosure. Our constituent services representatives have helped many Southern Arizonans facing foreclosure, and they're working with their counterparts across liberal crowds, moderate crowds, conservative crowds, union crowds, and her answer is always the same on this. Congresswoman Giffords called this legislation, and I quote, "a historic step toward transforming our broken health insurance system," unquote. She was proud to be a part of that historic vote because it was a step forward for Arizona and for American families. But there's much more to do. As we enter this coming election year, we must work as a team to stand up for working families who are under attack. Today, you took part in workshops and heard from speakers who told you about ways to get involved and how to do it. I know that Gabby will be in the fight standing with you as soon as she is able, but until then, Arizona and Arizona's working families need you to carry the